The attic was dusty, the kind of place where forgotten things went to rest. Emily sneezed as she brushed cobwebs off an old wooden chest. Inside, she found a pile of yellowed papers, a broken pocket watch, and then something unusual, a small wooden box. "What's this?" she murmured to herself, her fingers tracing the carvings on the lid. Opening it, she found a compass. Its needle moved slightly, though she wasn't holding it level. Stranger still, the needle glowed faintly, casting a soft golden light. "Cool," she whispered, though she felt a twinge of unease. Later, she brought it downstairs to her grandmother, who was sitting in her favorite chair by the window. "Grandma, look what I found in the attic," Emily exclaimed, holding out the compass. Her grandmother adjusted her glasses and smiled faintly. "Oh, I remember that. It belonged to your great-grandfather. He always said it had a special power." "Special power?" Emily asked, raising an eyebrow. Her grandmother leaned closer, lowering her voice. "He claimed it led him to things he truly needed. Sometimes it was a safe path home. Other times, it was an answer to a question he didn't know he was asking." Emily turned the compass over in her hand, skeptical but intrigued. "Do you think it works?" Her grandmother chuckled. "Why don't you find out?" The next morning, Emily couldn't shake the thought of the glowing compass. She packed her small backpack with snacks, a flashlight, a water bottle, and a notebook. Standing in the backyard, she held the compass steady. The needle pointed south. "South it is," she said aloud, taking her first step into the woods. The air was fresh, filled with the scent of pine and damp earth. Birds chirped overhead as sunlight filtered through the leaves. After about an hour, she reached a small stream. She stopped to drink some water, noticing a boy sitting on a rock with a fishing pole. "Hey there," he called out. Emily hesitated, then waved.
Hi.
The boy hopped off the rock and approached, a friendly smile on his face. "I'm Jake. What brings you out here?" Emily debated whether to tell him, then decided there was no harm. She pulled the compass from her pocket. "I'm following this. It supposedly leads to something I need." Jake's eyes lit up with curiosity. "That sounds awesome. Can I join? I've always wanted to go on an adventure." Emily hesitated. She didn't know him, but he seemed harmless, and having company might be nice. "Sure, why not?" Jake grinned.
Cool.
"Let me grab my stuff." As they followed the compass deeper into the woods, the trees grew thicker, and the path became harder to navigate. Suddenly, they heard a faint sobbing sound. "Did you hear that?" Emily asked, stopping in her tracks. Jake nodded, looking around. "It's coming from over there." They followed the sound to an old stone bridge. Beneath it sat a little girl, her knees pulled to her chest. "Are you okay?" Emily asked gently, crouching down. The girl looked up, her face streaked with dirt and tears. "I lost my doll," she sniffled. "It fell into the river." Jake immediately rolled up his sleeves. "I'll get it." "Wait," Emily said. "The water might be too deep." Jake grinned. "I'm a good swimmer. Don't worry." He waded into the shallow water, scanning the riverbed. After a few minutes, he held up a soggy, mud-covered doll. "Is this it?" he called out. The girl's face lit up.
Yes.
"Thank you." She hugged the doll tightly, then looked at them both. "You're really kind. Thank you." As she ran off, Emily turned to Jake. "That was brave of you." Jake shrugged, shaking water off his arms. It felt like the right thing to do. The compass now pointed west. The sun was beginning to set, painting the sky in shades of orange and pink. After another hour of walking, they reached a hill. At its base was a cave, partially hidden by thick vines. Emily hesitated. "Do you think this is where it's leading us?" Jake peered into the dark entrance. "Only one way to find out." Emily turned on her flashlight, the beam cutting through the darkness. The cave was damp and cold, with the faint sound of dripping water echoing through the narrow passage. The compass needle glowed brighter, almost as if urging them forward. "This is getting creepy," Emily whispered. Jake laughed nervously. "Yeah, but creepy can be fun, right?" They walked deeper until the passage opened into a large chamber. In the center stood a pedestal, and on it lay an old, leather-bound book. Emily approached cautiously. The book's cover was engraved with the words, "The Secrets of the Past." "What do you think it is?" Jake asked, peering over her shoulder. Emily ran her fingers over the cover. "I don't know, but I feel like it's important." Suddenly, the ground beneath them trembled. "We need to get out of here," Jake shouted as small rocks began falling from the ceiling. Emily grabbed the book and stuffed it into her backpack. They turned and ran as the rumbling grew louder. "Faster," Jake urged, pulling Emily along when she stumbled. Just as they reached the entrance, the cave collapsed behind them, sending up a cloud of dust. Panting, they collapsed onto the grass outside. "That was close," Jake said between breaths. Emily pulled out the book, examining it. "Was this what the compass wanted me to find?" Jake shrugged. "I guess so. But what does it mean?" When Emily returned home, her grandmother was waiting on the porch. "You're late," her grandmother said, but her tone was gentle. Emily held up the book. "I think I found what the compass wanted me to." Her grandmother took the book, turning it over in her hands. "This is your great-grandfather's journal. He wrote about his travels, the lessons he learned, and the people he helped along the way." Emily's eyes widened. "So, the compass wasn't leading me to treasure?" Her grandmother smiled. "Treasure comes in many forms. Sometimes it's gold, sometimes it's knowledge, and sometimes it's the people we meet along the way." Emily thought about the little girl under the bridge, Jake's bravery, and the challenges they had faced together. "I think I understand." From that day on, Emily kept the compass with her, knowing that life's greatest adventures often came when she least expected them. Emily didn't have an answer, but she felt a strange sense of satisfaction. Through the glowing compass, Emily discovered not just the secrets of the past, but also the true treasures of life: courage, kindness, and friendship. Every step of her journey taught her that the greatest adventures aren't about finding things, they're about discovering yourself.